Okay, no shilly-shallying around. Here we are again, another 3-day weekend. And with me on the sofa, as usual, is my wife Bonnie.
Hello.
Anything to start off with?
I never want to get old. After having dealt with your mother this last couple of weeks and another week, I never want to fucking get old.
Well, guess what, Bonnie?
I know. It's inevitable. We're all going to die.
I think we already are getting old.
Yeah, you're onto something there. Because, I woke up with pain in my hip and went to soak in a hot bath for 30 minutes. And right now, my hands are aching with arthritis. So, yeah.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm about to be 55, and the difference between 20 years old and 25 is a lifetime because there was it took forever to go from 20 to 25, but to go from 50 to 55, it just seems like the other day it happened.
Yeah, today I was forced back to being 26. Sergio Mendes died today. And I had heard the Brazil 66 thing that he was in, that kind of music, but I had not heard any of the modern stuff. And when I was 26, I was bouncing around and I was with this guy called Sunni Khalid. He was a NPR correspondent. And we were in a Jeep. We had just had a big, huge weekend. The place we were at, the military forces had come into a big, shooting match and stuff, and we were all riding high on this. And so we decided we'd take a beach day, and he had a Walkman type of thing, and he was listening to this music. I'm like, what are you listening to? You're enjoying so much. And he's like, this is Sergio Mendes, and it was an album that had come out. At that point, it was several years old, a couple of years old. And so we went down to the beach. We all went in and, swam and stuff. But he handed me the recorder later, and I'm listening to it on the headphones. And it was just absolutely amazing. And having headphones on, the music is just right there in your ears, and everything's bouncing back and forth. And so I was taken back to that beach today, in my memory. And 26 years ago, it's more than, I was 26, it's been more than 26 years now.
Yeah. Well, when we got married, when you moved in with me, you had his album Brasilia, and I thought it was really good. It was really
Yeah,
that sort of Brazil street rhythm types,
yes, yes. A lot of bottles and uh, clanging of drums and the spoons on the bottles and stuff, and
Yeah.
a lot of march rhythm, the street stuff.
His first couple of albums, which I have some LP transfers, they were on the AM record label, A&M record label, along with Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass and the Baja Marimba Band. And that whole era of mid to late 60s instrumental music, I really, really like that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
The Brasilia album is just completely different. It's very ethnic. It's very much set in the idea of the festivals.
mm-hmm.
The
Street festival, yeah.
yeah, what is the big one? Mardi Gras and all that.
All that stuff
Carnival.
is big. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Carnival.
Carnival. It's the music of the people, and the music of the poor people specifically, and you hear that by the choice of the instruments.
Yeah. I want to get that CD out and listen to it.
It's in my room.
Yeah. He was 80 something. Yeah.
Oh, 85, I think.
So 3-day weekend. I'm working on 2 paintings at once. I'm doing some drawing. My, what would you want to call it? My online magazine, which is basically a comic book. The stuff for that has been going really, really well lately. It's been so fulfilling. Oh, and I finished this album I've been working on for over a year. I'm just sick of it. So there's this instrumental that I've been working on for probably 2 months, and I finally just shit it out and just to hell with it.
Ow.
And so I got that done. Oh, had to go to the endocrinologist on Thursday, which was a huge waste of time.
But
And
necessary given all your history. But the good thing is she didn't expect to see you back for another year.
yeah, she's been
6 months of blood work.
right. She's been seeing me twice a year, but she said I can cut it back to once a year.
Yeah, I have to go see her again. I'm doing every 3 months.
So you go to see her too.
I do now. I have to. After the heart surgery last year, it was discovered my levels were off, and they said you absolutely have to go back to a regular endocrinologist.
How many times have you been to see her?
I'm there every 3 months now.
I mean, but you've been before.
Yeah, I've been 3 times before. I'm about to go in for my fourth now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's constant blood work and altering things.
How old do you think she is? She can't be, but maybe.
26, maybe 28.
And she is not only a medical doctor; she's a specialist.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's so
Came out of
young.
whatever university, I don't know if it was Pakistan or something. Then she went to the University of Chicago, did a residency there for the U.S. training. And then she's here now. She may have done another stint somewhere. But yeah, she's got everything under her belt, and she's full-blown endocrinologist. And she knows what the hell she's talking about, but yet I still haven't gotten faith in her like I did with Dr. Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Because she's got me on a strange staggered dosing.
Well, I went to see Dr. Van Dyke, my first endocrinologist, for over 20 years, and I went to see him, and
Peter had just been born.
yeah, that's right, yeah, but I for my 10th anniversary of going to see him,
Oh, God.
he stuck his finger up my butt.
Because that's what doctors do for fun, apparently.
I said, "Oh, just wanted to mention in passing that I've been coming to as of today, or as of this right now, I've been coming to see you for 10 years."
Well,
Oh,
then
great!
bend over.
All right, drop your pants and bend over.
Oh, my God.
Take a deep breath. Oh, Lord.
Oh.
And what else happened this week? We dropped off. We dropped off the second load of book donations.
Yeah, a couple dozen this time. Not as
Oh
many.
Lord! Every couple of years we pick out
But-
200-300 books to get rid of, and they're like rabbits. They build back up again. Yeah.
We did have Peter drop off all the stuff we cleared out last week. I went through several boxes we had in storage.
It was what, picture frames, that type of thing.
Excess picture frames, a few excess pieces of pottery I wasn't in love with anymore. Because I've had several pottery collections over the years.
And I guarantee you, in about 2 months, I'll be like, "Oh, I really could use a picture frame or two."
Yeah, but you know what? Being able to get to the ones we have now will be a relief, because they had been double stacked in the back. Because our picture frames are in a box now, and then the art that we rotate out in the house is in one section next to it. And before, everything had doubled in size. I even got rid of some of my own personal art, my photography. And I don't know. Some were duplicates, and some I just got tired of fucking looking at.
Yeah. God knows we have so much stuff in storage at the old house, and it's just one of these days when I'm old, I'm gonna go over there and open up those buckets, and it's gonna be drawings that I just hate because I've advanced so much since those days.
Yeah.
And writings. Did you check your email?
No, I haven't since I got out of the bath.
Well, one of the things I sent you was yeah.
That piece?
Yeah.
That was an
I
interesting
wa-
piece. It
I-
went,
Sometime soon, I want to print up physical copies of my
oh,
most recent book I wrote,
another volume?
and that's talking about, you're talking about a couple hundred pages worth of stuff, sheets of paper, and who knows how much ink it's going to waste. And I didn't know if you wanted me to do that or put it off or.
I've got that printer now that has that refill injection stuff, so it's a lot cheaper. If you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I need a physical copy of it because
Okay.
I'd like to start.
Adding more shit to the house, yes.
Well, I want to reread it, and I'm thinking also
Read it
on my video show that I do my readings on. And there's something else I sent you. Oh, I wanted to know. I need to get my big amp fixed at some point. And I was thinking,
told you to do it.
well, I was thinking, why don't we do it after we get back from our vacation?
Yeah, there's that.
And there was something else I sent you, some other chore project thing I wanted to ask about. But anyway,
Oh, big news today. Dick Cheney says he's going to vote for Harris instead of dumbass Trump.
yeah, it
He's
is.
never liked Trump. Trump is a fucking moron, and he's destroying the Republican Party.
Exactly,
Cheney knows
exactly.
that, and Cheney is a huge supporter of the Republicans. And he sees what's going on. He sees how it's dividing people.
Oh, by the way, when I went out to get that crap out of the car, it was raining.
Oh,
So I don't know
sorry.
if I don't know if I'm going to run in the morning or not. If it's still raining, I'm not going to do it.
It didn't rain too hard today. Was it raining hard when you went out?
No, just a steady drizzle. Long time ago. I don't know if anybody out there remembers. There was a broadcaster named Hugh Downs. He hosted 2020 on ABC for years, but apparently this is years ago. He was either the host or associated with the Today Show on NBC, and they were having like the 20th anniversary show of the Today Show, and he was on there as a guest. And either somebody was talking about him or he was talking about somebody else. And they said, yeah, it must have been talking about him. They said that back in the 60s, when he was a journalist that would go on assignment, they'd send him overseas to here and there. He said that no matter what the precipitation was like, he would say, I'm here in Bangkok or I'm here in Paris and there's a fine veil of mist outside. And the other guy said it could be a roaring hurricane, and he would go, it's a fine veil of mist outside. So I've been reading Cynthia Heimel lately, and I'm reading her third book, Get Your Tongue Out of My Mouth, I'm Kissing You Goodbye. And it's
For those of you who don't know, she was the Carrie Bradshaw of the 1980s and 90s, but less trashy.
yeah.
And she was in Playboy of all things, and less trashy.
She didn't pose in Playboy. She wrote
Yeah,
the women
her
column
articles.
in Playboy magazine. But anyway, this book is really good. Every single piece is really good. And so that's what I'm reading currently. What are you reading currently?
I am stuck in book 5 of John Scalzi's Old Man's War series. 1 through 4 just blew through, loved them, and now I'm in 5, and it's weighed down with political machinations.
What kind of science fiction is it?
Well, number 1, there's zero fantasy aspect to it. It's pure space opera. You have people who have left Earth and are settling a populated galaxy, and everybody's fighting for space.
Okay. I'm the kind of person that should be reading science fiction, who wants to read science fiction, but most of the time, the stuff I read, science fiction, it just doesn't do it for me.
Now, you enjoyed the Lost series?
By Alan Dean Foster.
Alan
Yeah,
Dean
those were
Foster.
really,
That
really
was
good.
Really well done.
I read the first 2 Ringworld books, and they were okay.
The first one was good. The second was okay. And then they had all
Oh, did you read them?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I couldn't get into Kazan stories like Peter did. Peter went through all the Kazan stories.
I've wanted to read and enjoy the Dune series, and I've read the first one twice, and I've attempted.
Slog.
They're just boring.
Slog.
Boring.
Slog. Oh, yeah, I did the whole Foundation series. Peter, our son, when he was coming up, he's like, what should I read? And I asked my dad and you both, and everybody went, Foundation series. I said, okay, I haven't read it, Peter. I'll read that with you. And I read the initial Asimov series. And then I read all the robot novels. And then I did the Bear and Bren and Bentford spin-offs approved by the Asimov
Continuations,
of the Foundation series, which were phenomenal and very well done, except for the one on set with Gaianism. That was okay. It was just a little too Heinlein and its sex. And you know how Heinlein gets with the sex aspects.
Is it Heinlein or Heinlein?
I don't know. I say Heinlein. I don't give a shit. I don't read his stuff anymore. I got really turned off the whole Mars thing, and I just...
I'm trying to
The
think.
Foundation series is absolutely wonderful. You might want to try rereading that and the complementary books.
I reread those a couple of years ago, and then I ordered German versions, and I started reading them and got bogged down. I just don't read like I used to. I've just gotten to the point where I prefer to read short pieces, especially short humor pieces.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems I finally got to with reading novels is most of the time there's a point. We've got to get the box back to the temple, or we've got to solve the crime, we've got to resolve this issue, and I just don't give a shit.
No.
That's one of the reasons I like people like Italo Calvino, is they're just
Nothing I've been
fantasy.
reading is like that.
Not fantasy, but they're just...
Peter and I have tried to get you into Terry Pratchett's Discworld fantasy series. We love it.
Well, years
But
ago...
you tried the German version, and the humor doesn't translate well into German.
Well, no, it translated, but it was just so obvious that it's joke, here's a joke, joke name, puns, joke, and I just don't, I don't know.
I think it would have been better in the original English, my dear.
I like silly stuff, but that was a different kind of silly.
It's a great world that's created, a great city of Ankh-Morpork, and all
I
the
liked
characters in it.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I've read in English and German. I think I've read the German one
I read
twice.
the first one. I think I got partway through the second. Now, is that the same one who did the Dirk Gently novels?
Yeah, and they were...
I did those. Was it 3 of them? The first and the second I liked.
I hated the second one, the one with the gods. I can't think of the name of it, but I just hated it.
I don't remember that having gods. This is the...
This is the one where like Thor is a real person and...
No. Are you thinking of what's his name? That all the librarians swoon over.
No. The first one is called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and I
Yes.
think the second one is The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, and I hated that one.
Oh, you did? I don't remember that one that well.
I have such a hard time finding something that really connects with me in literature. Even poetry a lot of the time. Well, poetry I've gotten to where that appeals to me more than prose or novels anyway.
Do you remember back when I started singing Van Dyke and I had the tumor in my throat?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, assume you have cancer.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I know. It was just Mr. What was the phrase that you use for a certain somebody?
Oh, Stormcrow.
Stormcrow? Yeah. Yes, I spent a lot of time in doctor's offices.
You know where that comes from?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, very good. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, duh. I burned through all the Nero Wolfe
That's
books.
right. Yeah.
I mean, I would go through. I would sit in the waiting room for 30 minutes and be halfway through one of his books. That was Pulp Fiction, and I would burn through those.
Okay. Keep going.
What?
I would love to read all of the Inspector McGray novels by
I have so many of them in the back.
I know, and I just don't have time to read anything
Those
anymore.
are so peaceful and so gentle.
Yeah.
And everything is set in a period, it's post World War II, and Paris is trying to get back its timing.
Oh, my
Because
teeth hurt.
Paris time is different. And then when he leaves Paris for a summer away, he has to move into a different type of time, which means a
Yeah.
certain sort of relaxation.
Different.
A way that you move through your day. And when you stop for lunch, you stop for lunch.
Yeah.
And you go down and you have the beer at the bar. And they bring you out sandwiches.
That's something that.
That is a very peaceful series.
If I ever get good enough at French, that's something that would be really interesting to read.
Yes, it would be great to read in French.
There is a German mystery novel that I've read 3 times, maybe 4, and I supposedly the guy wrote several books featuring this character, but I can't find them, and I can't order them.
What is this? Who?
What's the guy's name? Stephen Meyer, and the name of the book is Like in Chicago.
Oh,
And,
Life in Chicago. Yeah, I remember that.
Not Life in Chicago, Like in Chicago.
Oh, is it?
Or As in Chicago.
Okay.
Something
I
somebody
remember you
says.
having that.
And I've read it at least 3 times. I can't remember the name of the protagonist, but he's basically an architect who moonlights as a detective if somebody needs something done.
Is he the one that goes to the dairy farm that time?
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't remember.
This is the one where I can't even remember the goddamn plot of the thing, but it was so well done. And
Okay. Do you remember when we both read the James D. McDonald series?
those were so well written.
No, I'm talking about the men's fiction where it was the same story every single time.
Oh, you're talking about Travis McGee.
Who wrote those?
Maybe that was his name. I thought you were talking about Ross McDonald, who was basically a carryover
Explain?
no. Oh God damn it. No, I can't think.
1940s?
Yeah.
Hard-boiled?
Yeah, 40s and 50s. Oh shit, what's his
Are we
name?
talking about Dashiell Hammett and that
No,
guy?
no. Well, after that, Raymond
Raymond Chandler?
Basically, Ross McDonald took off where he left off,
Oh.
and the writing is so damn good. The metaphors, the similes, everything, descriptions of stuff is just so good. I'd love to reread
Remember
those.
you owned the Mickey Spillane series? I read all of those
Mm-hmm.
too. The Ross McDonald, John D. McDonald was
John
the
D.
one. Was the one that had that
Right.
one Travis McGee where every time the dame would show up on his boat, they would end up in bed together. She needed him to find a lost person
Well,
or another. There was an inheritance involved.
It's always
It's the same
some
storyline.
woman has been emotionally put through the ringer, and she needs Travis McGee to give her some
Good lovin'.
some good loving and a week of good eating and whiskey on his boat, and he'll
And
set her to
justice.
rights. I only read 2 or 3 of those, and they were
They
just.
were
If I
terrible.
quickly realized it's the same fucking plot every
They were
time.
terrible.
You know, there's a Travis McGee quiz book. Can you imagine trying to differentiate between? Those are the ones that every title has a color in the title.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
Lady in Red kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like, amber, green, crimson. Nightmare in Pink is the one where he goes undercover to an insane asylum and they pump him full of pills. That was really scary. That freaked me out. I did not want to deal with that.
Forgive us if we've got the authors and characters mixed up, but after a while, that men's Pulp Fiction all blends together. And the hard-boiled detectives all kind of mush
might
together as well.
I might even have that quiz book somewhere. Just, got it for free somewhere.
Yeah. Remember we went to Madison, to that bookstore as you're going into Madison?
Oh,
And
yeah.
got
That place we haven't been there in
insurance.
years.
I don't even know if it's around anymore.
It's probably gone. Yeah, that was a great store.
Yeah, it shared a building with the granite headstone makers.
I forgot about that place. We haven't been out to Madison or Greensboro in years.
Well, this is Madison. Yeah, that would be nice. Greensboro we went to, and it had a nice little downtown area,
Hmm.
but there were like zero vegetarian options.
I think Greensboro was the day that I was taking pictures of people without them knowing. I would like kind of hold the camera down at chest level and sort of eyeball it. I mean, or just something kind of guesstimate where what I was doing.
Mm.
Um, but as far as music, I've been listening to Alice in Chains lately. I've
Hmm.
been slowly digging back into jazz again. I've been listening to Charles Ives' piano and violin concerto or sonatas, and I listened to Arnold Schoenberg's piano concerto last night, um, and Ludoslavsky's Second Symphony, which is really really good. See, again, I listened to that last night, and I couldn't play it loud enough to really dig into it because I didn't want to wake up my son. But it's another reason I got to insulate the room better, play music louder. What have you been listening to lately?
You're not gonna like it. When we started talking about Dwight Yoakam, I pulled out some country music. So Sturgill Simpson's bluegrass albums, and then of all things, the Dixie Chick Specialty Project
Oh
Courtyard Pounds. I know, I know.
no!
But I get in this mood for country music every once in a while. It's a certain type of twang. Don't worry, I never
I
make you listen to it for more than 5 seconds when you walk through the room. I'm going,
okay.
I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off. Because I can hear the growling. Roar.
I'm trying to think of something I get in the mood for once in a while that's not my usual thing. I'll go through rap periods once in a while, and I'm not talking about the
Oh, we
Beastie Boys.
listened.
That's a standard
Well, we
thing for
listened to
me.
some good Beastie Boys the other week when we went somewhere.
It was their instrumental album,
Oh yeah,
the mix up, which is a great record.
it has that B song on it.
Yeah, "Be for My Name."
That's right. For
But the
my
Beastie
name.
Boys, that's one thing. I'm talking about other rap that I have.
Yeah,
I listen to
you've got some
Chocolate
German.
Weasel, which is a mainly instrumental hip hop record, which nobody knows about except me.
I want
And
to listen to that. Numbers 7 is the reason at the time.
yeah,
What was that? Who was that?
that's a collaboration between Latyrix, which was a short-lived hip hop duo, and God damn it, you had to ask me this.
Oh,
Anyway, they got a song called 8 Point Agenda.
oh yeah, it's so good.
We believe in maximum effect. Not, it's just such a good song. And I liked it. So I had it on a sampler or something, and I liked it so much that I ordered Latyrix's first record, which is really, really good. If I got up off the sofa right now, I could walk over to my rap section and read my entire collection of rap records in like 60 seconds. Because some few I have. Beastie Boys is in a separate section.
Oh, we discovered something this week. The late night guys came back and they made a joke about how Donald Trump is being sued by every musician out there to stop playing their music, whereas Kamala Harris has gotten one of the biggest performers in the world, Beyonce, to give him a thing, and they played a clip of the song "Freedom," and I said, "Oh, that's Beyonce. It's the first time I've ever heard Beyonce."
Okay, I got a trivia question for you. What was the campaign song or theme song
God.
of the Clinton Gore campaigns? Oh, you know it. You know it.
No, and I'll tell you why I don't know it. Because I went to the Al Gore rally with a friend of mine, and we were on the front row because I had inside passes because of Now and stuff. And his was REM's Superman. I am
That's right.
Superman.
That's right.
But I
Well,
don't know Clinton Gore.
it was "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow" by Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
Yeah, they played it at almost every single rally.
Oh my God! Now it's stuck in my head. Damn you! Damn you!
Oh,
Damn
that's a
you!
great. I love
It's a
that
great
era of Fleetwood
song,
Mac.
but it's just
And I'll tell you something else. Everybody talks about Rumors and everybody talks about the self-titled album that came before. Tango in the Night is a fucking awesome record. Even Mirage is pretty good. I wish to God I had Christine McVie's. I had it on cassette years ago. I had her solo record, and it's the one where she's sitting at the piano on the cover, and I wish I had that on CD. I've got almost every Stevie Nicks solo record, but I just don't listen to them that often. Interesting that she was good friends with Tom Petty and his wife.
Yeah.
Do you know who she said the love of her life was?
No.
Joe Walsh.
She's.
Can you believe that?
Ugh. Yeah, but he ended up with Bach, didn't he? Or one of the Bachs?
He ended up with Ringo Starr's wife's sister.
Yeah, one of the Bachs.
Apparently he had a daughter that died.
Oh, Jesus.
And he either wrote a song about her or something, and I think it was a memorial in his backyard. I can't remember, but anyway, he showed Stevie Nicks this about his daughter, and it so moved her. She wrote this song called "Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You?" Really,
What
depressing.
happened to his daughter? How old was she?
She was little. I got sick or something. I don't remember.
You mean like with Robert Plant's daughter?
His son?
Son.
His son had like some sort of fever, and it happened so fast that there was nothing they could do. They didn't even realize he was that sick, and the kid died like overnight. He was like 3 years old.
I remember having to rush Peter in. And we took him to the outpatient. They said, take him to the hospital now.
Yeah.
They had to get him on fluids because he was so small. He'd lost so much fluid.
Our kids have been injured so many times. And our daughter, years ago, Bonnie was taking her to
Dropping her off at
university. And
coffee.
she wanted to stop and get coffee. And the coffee was boiling hot, and it jerked in the car, and it spilled on her arm, and she had like third-degree burns. She had to have shark skin put on her arm as a graft.
Her skin was literally peeling off in the car. It was so fucking hot, that coffee. And she had to go into surgery. I took her to the ER. They gave her morphine. They said, you've got to take her to the burn center. I took her to the burn center in Augusta, which is 2 hours from here. Mm-hmm. And they said, she's got to have surgery now. And within 24 hours, they had peeled her skin off and removed a layer of section, probably 6 to 9 inches. And she had to withdraw from university that quarter and semester, whatever. And
She was going to Trip McConnell. I mean, that place out in
University of North Georgia.
it was that place out in Watkinsville.
And she withdrew the last possible day before losing her credits and stuff.
I had to call up there. You were taking her, and I had to call up there and say.
And she went through 6 weeks of intensive bandaging. They had this bandage on her, and then you didn't remove the bandage. They had put in shark skin on her, and they took her back there, and they took off all the bandaging because it was a straight arm bandage, meaning from the wrist up through and above the elbow. And they took her back there and they removed the bandage completely, and what was left underneath was 6 weeks of skin and filth that had to be debridement. What's it called? Where they take off everything.
Abraded? Dermabrasion? What are you saying?
They put her hand into this bath with this powerful bubbles.
Bubbles up.
And it went through and removed all the dead skin and stuff. And she pulled it out of the bath. I walked through the process with her. Mm-hmm. And then they went through this other thing when they went through with a hose and they had her sprayed down. And when they removed everything, it was like looking at baby skin.
Yeah, her skin is only
And
very slightly scarred now. You can't
they
really
were
tell.
shocked because the level of burning had been so bad. She had first and second degree burns. It had not gotten down into the musculature.
Okay, it wasn't third degree then.
Yeah, and they were so shocked. They said, "Can we please photograph this and use this as a case study? This is the best possible outcome." And now you can't even see that she's ever been burned.
I think there's like a line or two that you can tell where the graft started and ended. I can't remember now.
It's practically impossible to tell. The only thing is that it's on the underside of her arm, first off, which is a good thing, because she has to put on SPF 50 when she goes out in the sun any time of year to keep it from having any problems. But she had a growth that came up on a mole and they removed it. And it wasn't cancerous. That was the thing. They wanted to make certain that she always kept it covered up because she's more likely to have cancer. But it's perfect now.
When she was little, she couldn't even talk yet. She had to go in the hospital. Peter had just been born, so Bonnie couldn't go. Bonnie couldn't stay with her overnight in the hospital. I had to do it, and so I had to go with Reed, and they're going to hold her down so they can start an IV.
They strapped
her to a board, and this young man was trying to find the vein, trying to put the needle, and he couldn't find it. And she's screaming at me and looking at me like, "Why can't we leave? Why can't we go?" And I'm just trying to tell her, just looking at her Anyway, so this experienced older nurse comes in, and she's like, "I'll do it." And the look she gave that young man was like, "You idiot."
I remember when I went in to have Reed, they gave me some junior nurse, and I buzzed the thing, and they didn't come. They finally came back in the room, and I said, I had to take the IV out, and I turned my arm over, and I had half a orange shape on my arm because the fluid had not gone into the vein.
Yeah.
Yeah, the incompetence. And then the damn door fell on me.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like, help me! It's supposed to come and move this giant door. It's one of those huge hospital doors that's like double wide.
Yeah.
And it's heavy duty. And it fell right on top of my
It came off the
stomach.
hinges. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That night, I had been off caffeine. It's one of the many times I've been on and off caffeine, but I'd been off caffeine for I don't know how long. And that night I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Can you get me here you go. Is this shitty coffee, and it started me on another string of being on caffeine for a while. Oh me. That was a weird experience having our first baby.
Having babies.
I was telling this woman at work the other day, we had read books, we'd made preparations, we'd prepared the house, we'd gotten ourselves ready, but when we actually got the baby home that first night, we're like, we're on our own. This is our responsibility now.
With both my daughter and then my son, I said each time, it felt like they were so much safer inside of me because everything was on autopilot. Oh, God. Those wee little things.
Yeah. Let's see how much time we've got here. Oh, dear me, we've been talking almost 40 minutes.
Holy shit.
It's almost double our normal time.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about what we'd originally discussed.
Yeah, we were going to talk about people adopting an image for themselves based on something they've seen, and how I think it's particularly prevalent in my family. My parents, my sister, and I both have this notion that we need to look outside ourselves at some picture in a magazine or a movie star or some archetype and adopt that as our, we have to fulfill that by dressing in that way and having all the trappings around us of that sort of thing.
My family was very different. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, okay. So time to say goodbye so I can go make this video and post it. And so anything else?
No, we've been talking long enough, babe.
All right. See everybody later. Bye-bye.